Did we start recording already?
Um, yeah, I think so.
Okay. Um. All right.
God damn it! Who is it? Answer it. Put him on. Our first guest.
Hello. Who's that? I'm sorry. You have the wrong number. Yeah, they're asking for President Barack Obama. I don't know who that is.
Kind of late there, boss.
Welcome.
Kind of two entire presidents too late.
Welcome to.
Oh my god, goof ass.
Welcome to episode 20 of the Too Bad We Didn't Get Into Cars podcast and the start of season 2. We're so excited to have you all listening and watching. This is kind of a big deal because, I mean, who thought we would ever get this far? Not me.
I don't think so.
So, if you couldn't tell already, we are totally 100% prepared for this monumental episode, and I totally didn't just wake up 10 minutes ago from a sleep. So let's jump into this exciting episode. David, how was work? You got a new job recently?
I'm tired now.
Where do you work now?
I work at Cox.
Come on, say the rest of it.
I work at
Cock
Schlong
and
Sporting
balls.
Goods.
Sporting
Yeah.
goods.
Yeah, Wiener Sporting Goods. Where half the time I put the security tags on clothes, and half the time I try to find shit in the store. And the other half the time I'm hiding.
In the bathroom?
No, well, it's sometimes the bathroom, but there's like a million stock rooms. So
I mean, it's a big store.
I
It's
try
big
to
dicks.
hide. It is a massive stock room. Like, you wouldn't think, like, you wouldn't notice, like,
Yeah.
being in the store. But, like, the stock room is, like, twice as long as the actual store.
So which Dick's Sporting Goods is this?
One by the mall.
In Orland?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you got a lot of enthusiastic Dick customers, huh? Sorry, Dick's customers.
No. We have enthusiastic dick athletes.
Oh my god. So you're telling me that Dick's Sporting Goods, right? The sporting goods store known to many middle school boys around the world as the Dick and Ball store. They see themselves as important in maintaining their brand as Disney, who calls their employees castmates.
No. We're not athletes. The customers are athletes.
So the customers are the special ones because they choose dicks.
Yeah.
As opposed to vaginas.
And honestly, I'm all for it because the word customer makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, it sounds like custard.
No, not the word itself, just the idea of customers. They're fucking trash, all of them. Customers is garbage.
Does it make the job better that you have to call them athletes?
Well, I don't really call them anything.
You don't partake
because I'm in the back most of the time, just not giving a shit.
Call them a son of a bitch.
I got a hat on. I could listen to music the whole time.
Like what kind of hat? Like, do you bring your own hat from home?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hat with like speakers in it.
Oh shit! I thought it was one of those like winter hats that had the little like dangly balls on the sides because you work at Dick's. So
no, it's a beanie, but there's like an actual like Bluetooth speaker on both sides.
Dicks and balls.
So it's kind of neat.
Okay.
Although the radio there, low key kind of slaps.
Well, I feel like it's a lot of classic rock at a Dick's Sporting Goods.
It's a lot of Foo Fighters, actually.
That kind of makes sense.
Like
I can see
songs that you would not think that would like play.
I wonder if it's someone's playlist, or I wonder if it's like a Dick's Sporting Goods. But that's a lot of power to be the person that at the store gets to control the music. I don't envy that person. You play one wrong song and some Dick's enthusiast comes up to you and they're like, "Can I suck your dick?" But then after that, they're like, "Who the fuck is playing this shitty, offensive music?"
Yeah, it's like 1/3 Christmas, 1/3 rock, and 1/3 bullshit Walgreens core stuff.
And then another third Foo Fighters.
Yeah, well,
that's
Foo
four
Fighters is part of the
thirds.
rock. Yeah, bro, I'm talking The Line, Outside.
So like newer Foo Fighter stuff.
Yeah.
So
Rope.
Here's the thing about The Line, and this is my friend Jake, drummer Jake. He let me know when Concrete and Gold first came out, they were playing The Line as like an official NHL song during like commercials and stuff. So I feel like that might have something to do with it. Is just like songs that might have appeared in like sports ads before. You know, you just keep track of that.
Yeah, bro. I think I heard making a fire at some point.
Ooh.
What's the song on In Your Honor? The second track that's in Guitar Hero. No Way Back.
No Way Back. Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's kind of surprising.
Yeah, those are kind of what's the phrase? The deep cuts.
At least like Outside and like No Way Back.
Yeah, because No Bay Whack No Bay Whack was a single, as far as I remember. But you know, we weren't Foo Fighters fans listening to the radio in 2006. Absolutely not.
So yeah, dude, if I couldn't wear a hat and do that job, I'd quit.
Yeah, or at least you'd scoop your brains out with a hockey stick.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or bash my head in with a $1,300 golf club.
Well, because only rich people play golf. That's the reality of our society. That we live in. I botched that so hard. I should have not stuttered. It's fine. Well, I'm glad work is going semi well, especially now that we're nearing the Christmas season, or holiday season, whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays, and fuck the snow, or at least fuck the snow after New Year's is over, because I don't know why. I don't know why anyone likes snow once the two major holidays that utilize it are over. And in the Midwest, we just have snow until like April, maybe. So, seems like someone doesn't have a calendar. I'm talking to you, Mother Nature. Hey, did you hear about this thing called winter? And how it starts in December and it ends in like February?
You dumb bitch.
Oh, hey, that's my mom. That's my mom you're talking about.
Bro,
hey.
Where's Vanessa at?
Vanessa is also sleeping, but I'll get her in a little. Vanessa. No, see, I heard her snoring. She's just such a loud snorer. Now that she's getting older. Oh shit! I forgot our car.
Have you even shown the car yet?
Our car. Yes, the totally new car that I bought specifically for this episode. It is a a 2015 Chrysler 300, and it is blue. Totally new and not used before in episode. Not an episode.
Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? One of you car enthusiasts of the podcast are gonna be like, "Oh, you use this car in episode 13, actually." No way.
You want to know what car we used in episode 13?
I swear to God, if it's that one, I'm a flip.
It was, holy fuck.
Shut the fuck up. Don't even give me that.
No fucking way.
You're lying.
No fucking way, dude. Oh my god, what?
This is all a bit.
It's legit not a bit. Okay, it was a bit up until this point, but it is. Look it up yourself. Right now, episode 13 is when we use this exact car.
You fuck with me, right?
I'm not fucking with you. Oh my god.
Ah! Nick's just screaming at me immediately.
And which one is this?
I don't know, the last video you just uploaded.
Oh, that was the Well Howdy Campers. But we didn't have any. The audio got fucked on that episode, so we can't.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
David Kapusha Cars, everybody. Wow, with the MVP game-saving moment. I honestly, in my 27 years of sportscasting, I have never once seen a pull as legendary as what I've just seen today. Okay, so there is going to be a bit for the rest of the episode. This is not part of the bit. This is not. We did reuse this car in episode 13.
What are the odds of that?
There
was a 1 out of 18% chance I guessed the right number, because I knew it wasn't episode 1.
It's not episode 1. That was our 72 Honda Civic?
1972 Honda Civic. Yes, it was. It was red.
Yeah, it was red. Yeah, dude. Hey, we're getting better at cars. We're also getting better at this podcast. So anyone right now thinking that these guys don't know, they're running out of ideas. Shut up, politely, kindly, because we
about
are
a 6% chance I would get that number right, and I got it.
Dude, that's your your trick shot?
My hat trick? That's my hat trick right there?
That's your hat trick. David pulled featured characters on the first multi-summon in 2 of our games, 2 out of 3. And he was saying, what were you saying about My Hero?
I was like, if I get in how My Hero was going to be a hat trick, but I didn't get it because the dry person in that game fucking sucked dick.
This was the hat trick.
It was delayed until getting the episode right here.
Holy
shit.
Jinx,
you owe me a soda. You better bring one. You fucker.
Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. So all new things, because obviously every episode we talk about new stuff, new things. That's, what makes this podcast so interesting to listen to. We're talking about what did we just because we've been planning this for weeks. What we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, you know what, Nick? You know what's fucked up about this? Everyone's going to know what we're talking about already because it's going to be in the title of the fucking video.
We're talking Dragon Ball Super.
It's not like it's a mystery.
We're talking Dragon Ball. We're talking Dragon Ball because we haven't talked Dragon Ball before.
Two Guards Podcast, episode 20, Dragon Ball Super, Metallica, Pokémon Gen 6. They already know. Right, guys? They already know. Yeah, bro. Metallica just shit out a song, an album announcement, a fucking 2-year world tour out of nowhere.
Okay, yeah, so maybe we're talking about things that we've already talked about, but there's a new aspect to everything, right? Metallica we've already talked about.
A new song.
Yeah, even if we talked about Metallica in episode 7, we have to talk about this new song. And even though we talked about Dragon Ball Z in episode 6, we haven't talked Dragon Ball Super yet. And even though the last couple of episodes we have already talked about Pokemon Today we're talking about Gen 6, baby. So we're it's all new stuff.
Gen 6.
I don't want to hear any complaints out of any single one of you as far as the show quality is concerned. Okay, this is a fantastic show. You guys just don't get it. And for those of you who do get it, brownie points. All of you. You all get brownie points. You're all winners in my eyes. All 4 of them. Dragon Ball Super, right?
4 eyes. Yeah, obviously I didn't watch the first 2 arcs, show-wise at least.
Yeah. So, really quickly, if you want a more in-depth sort of analysis of Dragon Ball Super, we probably 2 years ago, something like that, at the beginning of the pandemic maybe, or at the right before it, we released a video on David's channel, which one of your
on my movie channel, which is making a comeback.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, well, and you are David Kapushikar's.
Yes.
And
who are you?
I was asking you that.
I really want to know, who are you?
I was hoping
Scarpin Auto.
Yeah.
Nick Scarpin Auto.
So on David Kapushikar's movie channel,
DK Media Movies,
link in bio.
Represent. Yeah, we have like a 35-minute video on Super.
Yeah, so we're just going to briefly go through our thoughts.
I watched it.
Yeah.
And now it's years later.
Yeah, and you can look back on it in retrospect after playing Dokkan, after having these characters ingrained in your brain. Yeah, you didn't watch the initial couple arcs because that was just remakes of Battle of Gods and Resurrection F.
Yeah.
But we picked up at the Universe 6 tournament. I think there are a couple of filler episodes that you missed along the way, including one where Mr. Satan has to fight an alien and Goku...
Including where Goku forgets his tractor.
Yeah. Yeah, so Dragon Ball Super Universe 6 arc, the Goku Black arc / Future Trunks arc / the Universe Survival Saga or the Tournament of Power arc. There aren't a whole lot of arcs in this show, which lasted 131 episodes. But the last one is like 80 episodes. Yeah, it goes on for a while. So David, now that you've had a couple of years under your belt to really think about Dragon Ball Super, who's the real villain of Dragon Ball Super?
The shitty fan base.
All right, we're only talking about power scalers. I feel like, in general, some of the more toxic anime fans are the ones who, in any conversation about any other anime ever, will ask the question, can they beat Goku, though?
No, not even that shit. I think that's just a meme.
Oh.
But no, just Dragon Ball fans in general who just want to shit all over this. But then they like love GT because they're brain dead.
Oh, on Super? Yeah. Here's what I'll say. I think I haven't seen GT, but I get weirdly nostalgic for certain things that I remember as a kid, like seeing clips of. Yeah, I think both of them, both Super and GT, have their moments. If it came down to which one is better overall, I think they're pretty even. But just because Super is bigger and it has some cleaner animation in parts, and I like the hypeness of some fights, I think Super is a little bit better. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't know if I like Super way more than GT. I'd have to actually watch GT, but at least,
GT had one moment, and it lasts about 5 minutes.
Is that Gogeta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Super Saiyan 4 looks like shit. Sorry, not sorry. Super 17 was dog shit. I mean, Baby Vegeta was fine, I guess.
Yeah.
And the whole first half of the show was trash, so.
Yeah. That's fair. But we're not talking GT, we're talking Super. So, David, what did you think about Dragon Ball Super now that you've had some years to look back on it?
Actually, not too long ago, I just spent like a couple hours re-going through the Tournament of Power,
Yeah.
but like, fast forwarding all the dumbass commentating and shit,
Sure.
just to see all the hype moments again.
Yeah.
And it was still pretty hype.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just watched a Totally Not Mark. Shout out Totally Not Mark, a anime commenter, YouTuber, reviewer, and animator and illustrator and stuff. He put out a video called the Dragon Ball Super, I think like the Super Review or the Huge Review or something, where he basically analyzes every single episode of the show. So it's like a 2-hour video, and I watched that video while just like laying in bed, scrolling through social media and playing my games and stuff. And I got to relive a couple of really hype/emotional moments from the show, specifically from like the Tournament of Power. I think it's a good arc. I think there's definitely a lot that kind of brings it down. Some of the other universes aren't as interesting to me. The way that they knock out Piccolo and Tien is bullshit, dude. Oh my god, with the invisible opponents. That was awful. That was terrible. But I guess they had 7 people way past the point where other universes were like knocked out, so they had to get rid of them somehow.
Yeah, bro. The Roshi part was really good.
Yeah.
I
liked.
Who else? Obviously Frieza. It was just entertaining the whole time.
Yeah. I honestly liked Kefla as a character, and Kefla versus Goku. That moment with the grinding on the Kamehameha or the beam, so good.
Where he Tony Hawks it, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. And
even beyond the tournament, like Battle of Gods, I really like.
Yeah,
because Beerus is really cool. Resurrection F, I'm not crazy about like at all.
No, I think Resurrection F. There's the 1-inch punch from Goku that I really love. There's Vegeta getting to absolutely dunk on Frieza after Frieza hadn't even seen him turn Super Saiyan, and he's like, "Oh no, I can go Super Saiyan. I'm gonna kick your ass," and he just fucking whoops on Frieza for a little bit. And I like highlighting some of the Z fighters that we don't normally get to see. The animation was pretty fluid in a lot of their fights, and seeing Buff Roshi again was cool. But yeah, man.
Broly is still the best thing in the whole series.
Absolutely, it is. And then what a lot of people consider the second best thing about the series, the Goku Black arc, which honestly I think contains probably the only actual villain in the entire show. Every other like antagonist is either a good guy or they end up fighting alongside the good guys.
Yeah, like they will have super and extreme types in Dokkan, whereas Zamasu ain't getting no fucking super type.
No, Goku Blacks, absolutely not. I feel like Vegito is pretty hype. I think them going to the future 3 separate times is kind of dumb, because they didn't really prepare much between the first and second time. They just decided to go back. Trunks being just a regular Super Saiyan 2 and able to keep up with 2 gods just single-handedly, that's kind of silly. But oh yeah, and then the ending to that arc where Zamasu just turns into the sky.
Yeah,
that's kind of goofy. But I don't know. I really like that arc too. Some moments in it really get me going. Definitely, I don't look back on it as fondly as I do Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, I have yet to watch Dragon Ball, but you're a couple arcs into Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I just finished like the first tournament.
Yeah.
With Jackie Chun.
Jackie Chun, yeah.
So, yeah, maybe when I finish that, I'll actually talk about that. Then I'll have seen everything, which is crazy.
Yeah, except for a handful of movies. But
yeah, well, there's still a lot of those episodes left.
Yeah. Anyway, Dragon Ball Super, good stuff.
And we'll talk about Superhero when we actually see it again, because it's been so long already.
Yeah, honestly. So maybe in the new year. So on to our next topic.
Luxy Turner.
Yeah, we got to talk about Metallica again.
Shan-
And I'm sure there's going to be a Metallica V3 once, 72 nights? 72 weeks?
Seasons.
72 seasons. Once that comes out, what are they talking about? Grey's Anatomy?
No, it's referring to the first 18 years of your life.
Oh.
That's why there's a crib on the album artwork. And even the song itself, Lux Eterna,
Yeah.
I mean, it stands for eternal life in Latin.
So it's gonna
And
be a
like you were
concert.
talking about earlier, it's literally them remaking Hit the Lights, but with some obvious Motorhead influence.
Yeah.
Because it's very much overkill with like the drums and shit. And even the false end at the end and then it comes back in.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to guess, they were probably coming up with the idea for the album and they were like, what if we just look at our lives segmented, you know? And it's like, what were we listening to a lot when we were kids? A lot of Motorhead, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Once again, David already has a video talking more about the song and in more detail on his music channel, DK Media Music.
Bro, let me tell you, starting in March, my content production is going to like skyrocket.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, because you're going to have Metallica.
I'm planning a long fucking marathon.
Of what? Just like stuff you're going to make? Oh, don't spoil it then.
Yeah.
But at least two of those things are going to be Metallica and Legend of Zelda.
It's a lot of stuff. Oh my fucking god, Breath of the Wild comes out. Well, it's
a
coming
couple
out
months
after
after
all that
that.
shit. So thank God that's all gonna be done with before it happens.
Yeah.
But
yeah, dude, I think, we already talked pretty in depth about Metallica and our music taste in middle school, but this song kind of brings me back a lot because it's interesting to hear. I guess as a concept, I didn't even know that 72 seasons was the first 18 years of your life. I didn't know 18 times 4 was.
yeah, when I
72.
first like saw the title, I thought it was referring to how long they've been touring. But I didn't do the math, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's way less. So so I just looked it up, and James talked about it.
It's very cool. Yeah, I didn't know that was the theme. But it makes it even cooler because I don't know, man. I listened to Metallica's entire discography before I turned 18. You know, so there was a lot of my teenage years that were spent admiring the band and admiring their music, and to this day, I still remember most of the Nothing Else Matters intro because that was one of the first things that I tried to learn how to play on guitar before I realized that you could just play chords over the song and you don't have to play lead stuff over the entire thing. But yeah, dude, they put out a pretty simple, straightforward song. It's pretty fast. It's fun to listen to. I feel like some of the lyrics are a little like lighter in tone than a lot of their lyrics before. I think there's specifically a part where James sings like "Give me the light" or something like that. I forget what the exact line is, but it was just like, oh, that's usually the opposite of what they usually sing about, like darkness and stuff and death.
Metallica likes death. It's a great video. Go watch it.
So they also announced the album and the album artwork, and they got a bunch of fucking promo stuff for it already.
April 14th.
Yeah, something else is coming out in April. Oh, the Mario movie. Mario movie's coming out in April.
Yeah. Did you see that trailer too?
Yeah, did you see the new Transformers Rise of
No.
the Beast trailer?
No, I don't give a shit. I never saw any of those movies. Probably never will.
So, one of these days, I'm going to have to sit down and watch Bumblebee because it is widely regarded. This isn't even about Metallica anymore, but really quick side. One of these days, I want to watch Bumblebee with Haley Steinfeld because it's widely considered the one, like, truly good Transformers movie. And ironically, Michael Bay did not direct it or write it. So everyone seems to generally agree that it's a really good movie. All of the Transformers designs are done really well. They look less like big chunks of metal, like just steel, like silver metal, and they actually have recognizable like colors and designs and shapes and stuff. And the story is really good. It's modeled after like 80s feel good like E.T. Because it takes place in the 80s, which is wild. But yeah, this new Transformers movie is considered a sequel to Bumblebee. So they started essentially a separate universe, like a soft reboot. So you don't even have to watch the other 4 that came before it. And it's got all of the Beast Transformers. Like Beast Wars, where they're all like animals and they like turn into like robot. Dude, I fucking love Transformers so much. But I also love Metallica, which means that we have to go see them when they come to Chicago one of the 2 times. But it has to be the Pantera date.
I was gonna say. Well, tickets go on sale like in a couple hours, pre-sale at least.
Like today?
Yeah, so I'm gonna see how much, because they're only selling the 2-night package for now, and then not until January are they selling like the single tickets.
Well, and that's probably gonna be like, slim pickings.
And I'm super nervous because they're 2 different sets.
Okay.
And I swear to God, if I don't get Creeping Death again, I'm gonna disown them.
Well, yeah, because they're doing every city that they go to, they're doing 2 nights in one city. So I think it's like a weekend thing, or maybe they're doing like a Thursday and a Saturday of every
Friday and Sunday.
Oh, that's weird, dude. Sunday night concert.
Yeah, which means they can only go to one city a week. So there's not, for a 2-year world tour, there's not a lot of stops.
No, Chicago isn't until 2024. Like, they're going international first.
Yeah, bro, it's fucking August 24.
That's wild. Yeah, so we got to see them. I don't know if they're going to reveal the set list. Probably not, like, beforehand.
I think it's going to be I literally think it's going to be a different set list, like, every fucking show they play.
Yeah, which at this point in their career, like, listen, man, I get it. You've been playing the same songs, for a really long time. But at this point, you have the freedom as creative people to just play whatever you want. So I don't blame Metallica for just wanting to do their own thing.
This has to be the rest of the episode because my internet's a piece of shit.
Yeah, so. I mean, that's okay. So just to let you all know, oh my God, Siri, get out of here. Just to let you know, David's internet went kaputs, right? Which is sometimes you, on like usernames, you call yourself Dave Kaputs.
On Snapchat, yes.
Yeah. So we're just calling each other. We were using Zoom to kind of give you a little background behind the scenes look at how this show is made. We use Zoom to see each other and hear each other, and then we just film with our cameras separately and then put it all together. But now we're in a phone call. So the audio and the video is still going to look and sound the same, but as far as our responses to each other, hopefully you don't hear. I'm going to turn the volume of my phone down and keep it away from my microphone so you don't really hear it bleed through. But anyway, so we're excited about Metallica coming to Chicago. We're just apprehensive.
We'll see how much it is.
We'll see how much it is. And even once we get there and see Pantera's set, which hopefully they have tickets for that day, and it's not the Sunday, because I'll have to work the next day, and you will, I'm pretty sure, too. It's 2024. Who knows what we'll be doing?
Who knows, bro?
It's like 2 years from now. So anyway, let's really quickly delve into our next topic, which will be the final topic for today, and a continuation of our Pokemon journeys, like the show, but also like the podcast topics. So last week we talked Gen 5, Black and White, and then all of the spin-off games. This week we're talking Gen 6, which is a little. Not to say that there wasn't a lot of games for Gen 6, but the main ones that we're going to be talking about today, we got to touch on X and Y, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Pokemon Go, and Super Mystery Dungeon. So those are and I can briefly talk about Pokemon Duel, which was a mobile game for a little while that I really enjoyed. But anyway, let's start with the games that kicked off the generation, X and Y. So these famously are the games that we got back into with. We got back into Pokemon with these games, right?
Yep, and the names are still really stupid.
Yeah, this was the first year that they pivoted away from gemstones and colors to something completely different. And they did this for a couple of years. At least, yeah, the rest of the time, the rest of the generations until Scarlet and Violet, actually, where it was abstract things, or it was not colors or gemstones, but it was just other, ideas. But X and Y, I remember getting because my friends on the school bus in high school, they were all playing Pokemon. And for the past couple of years, aka the reason why I didn't play Black and White, I was convinced that Pokemon was for kids. And I was trying to convince myself that so that I could be cooler, And then I saw all my friends playing Pokemon, and I was like, wait, I don't care about being cool. I just want to have fun with my friends. So I got I got Pokemon X, and you got Pokemon Y. I don't think we planned that, right? To get different versions.
I think we probably did, because we always have.
I mean, we always have, but I think it was based on just the Pokemon that we enjoyed more. Because honestly, I've enjoyed all of the Pokemon that I've gotten in my versions more than the other one.
Yeah, I mean, I like Yveltal.
Yeah.
Than Xerneas.
Yeah, so I remember playing X and Y. I remember being surprised at all of the new models that we got for all of the Pokemon that were sprites a generation before. Yeah, getting to pet your Pokemon and feed it puffins and stuff, and I thought some of the music went really hard. I contrary to the rest of the community, I fucking love the Elite Four and the Champion music from Gen 6. I think it hyped me up in parts, but especially the Champion theme. Even if Diantha isn't a fantastic champion, I think her utilizing... Oh my god, Mega Evolution. Can we talk about Mega Evolution, dude? Holy shit. Still to this day, the single best new mechanic in any Pokemon game.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't count regional variants from Sun and Moon, I love Mega Evolutions so much. So much. And they only use them in Gen 6, which is a shame. I think you could get, the Mega Stones in Sun and Moon, but it just wasn't the same as playing it in X and Y and then the Gen 3 remakes. Did we both start with Chespin?
I did, yeah.
I also did, which I think I wasn't as aware of trying to use different starters until more recently. But I like Chestnut. I think Delphox is my favorite starter from that gen just because, dude, I love Braixen so much. And I think part of that is Pokemon Pokken tournament, but also its magic wand is in its tail and it just pulls it out like a sword. Dude, it's so sick. And Mystical Fire is it's one of my favorite fire moves because it lowers special attack, so it's you burn someone and you use Mystical Fire and their attack and special attack go down. Perfect, dude. And then you use Hex to affect the burned enemy. It's a fucking fantastic strategy. But
yeah.
What are your thoughts? I want to hear what you think.
No, I was gonna say, I think besides the new ones, it's easily my least favorite starters, like ever.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really like any of them.
Not even Greninja?
No.
Chad Greninja?
I think Greninja is hopelessly overrated.
I think part of that was the anime's fault. I think the fact that Ash got an anime or a Greninja and he took it to the championship and lost to a Charizard. I think that kind of helped the Greninja hype train. Also, people fucking loved the X and Y like anime in general. I remember thinking, wow, people really like Serena and Ash kiss, I think, and so people really love putting Ash and Serena together, and they have like a childhood history. Apparently, they have like backstory episodes, and Ash is like the closest that he's ever been to being champion up until that point, and he fought like a rival that people liked, and Greninja was cool. I jumped off the anime train, and I have not jumped back on since Gen 4. I hope you can't hear my roommates screaming in the other room because the World Cup is on. Dude, I couldn't care less about the World Cup.
Yeah.
So it's weird to hear people in my life care so much about it, because up until this point, I don't have any friends that really care about sports except for drummer Jake and Eddie. They really like hockey and baseball more. Anyway, yeah, Kalos was fun to explore. I feel like we desperately. I'm very much looking forward to when they remake Kalos in one way or another. Either if we see it in another game, or if they just straight up remake X and Y, which I don't think will happen for a really long time. But
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Despite like it being really important, like getting us back into the games, this Gen 6 is like they're just so forgettable. Like I even replayed it. I checked before we started filming.
Yeah.
And I beat it again like summer 2020, and I still don't remember anything from this game.
Jeez. Yeah,
I think it's super forgettable. Besides Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum is the coolest thing to come out of this generation.
Yeah. And well, and I know fairy type is a huge deal now. Like, but at the time, dude, I remember being so confused.
That I still have I have like a photo, like a screenshot saved, like, fairy type weaknesses and strengths, because I still can barely fucking remember it.
Yeah. I just made it a point to start using fairy types, or like fairy type moves, because a lot of Pokemon can learn Play Rough, and I feel like it was just a matter of time before I accepted my fate and realized, oh yeah, I'm a water trainer and I'm a fairy trainer. So anyway,
and just every pink Pokemon just automatically became fairy.
Yeah, basically, except for Chansey, weirdly enough, is still just a normal type.
Yeah, and I even think like your rival, your whole group of friends, man, Tierno and Shauna and whoever the hell's. I don't know. I didn't really care for them.
Yeah, it was a weak bunch of rivals. It was a weak starter trio. There were barely any legendaries in X and Y. I think it was Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde who didn't even get its own game.
I still will never forgive them for that shit.
Yeah. It's kind of tragic.
Like, okay, if they make an XYZ, it's the 3D axis. It makes sense.
Right.
But there's no Z, so it's just X and Y. It's still in 2D. Like, it's dumb. And I don't understand why they couldn't make you like, unless you were on the rollerblades, you couldn't walk in a circle, it was still only in 4 directions.
Right.
Like, that was goofy. Like, there's no way you couldn't have done that, like how they did in Sun and Moon.
Yeah. No, I feel like Pokemon games on the handheld systems like only got better. And we'll eventually get back to talking about our criticisms with the Pokemon Company, but at least until Generation 7, it felt like every new game had a bigger jump in quality. Speaking of jumps in quality, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire also came out in Generation 6, and honestly, I thought I enjoyed these way better than X and Y. As fond of memories as I have of starting X and Y, this is really where I think Gen 6 shines. In a lot of ways, dude. Like, you have all of the same Pokemon models, like the 3D models, seeing them for the first time, but like in the Hoenn region. It also kind of helps that we grew up on Gen 3, so like immediately I was more excited about these games. They added more Mega Evolutions. They gave you Latios and Latias early in the game, and they also implemented a flying feature, which lets you...
Dude, that was so cool. You could just soar above the entire region and just see everything.
Yeah, and it is the only game in the series that still lets you do that, which is wild to me. That we haven't done it since. But yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say other than we get the Delta episode, which is really cool. That gives you Rayquaza and Deoxys, and Deoxys was before not obtainable unless you got it through events.
Yeah.
I liked going to space. I like Zinnia as a character, and the only reason I remember her name is because she shows up in Pokemon Masters. But yeah, dude, do you think you prefer the remakes or the originals for Gen 3?
No, I just you know Gen 3 is already my favorite still. So, but getting to explore them in a different way was really cool. Like, I had a lot of fun with Omega Ruby, and I kind of I might actually want to go play that again at some point.
Yeah, honestly, I feel that way about the Gen 2 remakes, except I absolutely prefer Soul Silver to regular Silver any day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just fun to explore a region that you have already liked for a really long time, getting to, head out with like the same team, but just in 3D. It feels like reliving your childhood a little bit. And, once Black and White get remade, all these Gen 5 fanatics are going to go nuts for the exact same reasons. But other than main series games, other spin-offs that we have that at least David and I have played, we have Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon and Pokemon Go. I also played a little bit of Pokemon Duel, which was a really cool mobile game for a period of time where you could collect Pokemon as like basically game board pieces, and then they had their own stats and they had their own moves and like how far you could move them, and I don't know, it felt like Pokemon chess, and it was awesome, and they got rid of it for no reason. Probably because it wasn't making enough money, probably because they rather would have focused their efforts on Pokemon Go, and then, a year or two later on Pokemon Masters, as far as like mobile games go. But there were a couple of Pokemon mobile games between this time and current Pokemon. But let's talk about Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, because neither of us really remember much from that.
Dude, yeah, I fired it up a little bit ago, and I remember very slight things about it. I remember how much I hated the World Tree.
Yeah.
And then just the whole school thing again. Like, I remember the school system and going like on the field trips.
Yeah.
In the forest, and little what's that thing called? Not Pangoro, the Pancham.
Yeah, Pancham.
Yeah, Pancham was a new little baddie, and other than that, man, it was just a mystery dungeon game that honestly was probably my least favorite of all of them.
Yeah, it doesn't help that there was a huge focus on like Gen 5 Pokemon, which I don't know, we didn't really have any. Like, the teacher was whatever Petrat evolves into, the meerkat thing,
Yeah.
it that didn't help the overall, because we weren't big Gen 5 people, so I feel like that was a mystery dungeon game made for Gen 5 players. But
not even counting the one that actually came out in Gen 5.
yeah, right. But this one was on the 3DS. It played pretty well. I remember having a good time with it in the moment, but definitely not nearly as memorable as the previous mystery dungeon games. And then we have to talk about what is probably the only reason that Pokemon, not the only reason, but it's a huge reason as far as Pokemon has remained in the public eye and the public zeitgeist for the past couple of years. And that's due to the popularity of Pokemon being revived with Pokemon Go. Now, dude, I remember the day that this game came out. We hung out almost all day just walking around our neighborhood, and there were no Pokemon.
Dude, the game didn't even work half the time.
Yeah,
Remember
it
how
kept
many times I had
crashing.
to restart it just to get it to fucking connect to the server?
Yeah, and then now, I take how easy it is to just jump into Pokemon Go for granted. I don't play it anymore, but I wanted to really quickly talk about, because the actual mechanics of the game, there's not much to talk about. Like, there are gyms. The battling system is so stupid and simple. It's just mashing buttons. The dodge doesn't work half the time. But that's not the point of the game. The point of the game is to catch Pokemon. And I feel like, dude, the fact that Pokemon Go came out at what seemed like the perfect time and recaptured everyone's excitement. Dude, I had friends and people in my family that were playing Pokemon Go that hadn't talked about Pokemon for years. And just the amount of attention that Pokemon got because of that game, I have to be thankful to Pokemon Go, because if I don't know, I feel like Pokemon has been way more normalized. Liking Pokemon has been way more normalized in conjunction with the release of that game, because just everyone and their moms were playing it, literally.
Yeah. And then people were always talking shit oh, you're still playing Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Or, because it was a couple weeks where it was crazy everywhere.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, you're still playing it? No one plays it. It's yeah, because all the stupid bandwagoners stopped playing it. And the real fans were the ones still playing the goddamn game.
Oh, yeah. No, but I remember that game came out in July of 2016. And, dude, that summer, the summer of 2016, it felt like there was nothing else like it. It was so strange to me to just go out with some friends to a neighborhood that we weren't 100% familiar with, and to hear someone say, hey guys, get over here, there's a Vaporeon on the corner, you don't want to miss it. And it's just strangers talking to each other and having fun and giving, trading and getting to meet people through Pokemon Go. That was a huge point of interest for a lot of people, was just the idea of getting to socialize. And people were getting outside. And it was there were more kids getting exercise just by walking around playing Pokemon Go than, I don't know. It was crazy to me, dude. I
was outside, man. I even got on a bike. I made it a thing every day, in the afternoon to make the same lap around my neighborhood on my bike.
Yeah.
And I just hatch eggs. It was crazy.
Yeah, and that was still when there was only 151 Pokemon in the game. Now we're all the way up to Galar. We're all the way up to Sword and Shield. And it's wild. Now you can there are ways to catch, when you have community day in Pokemon Go, you can catch shiny Pokemon. I have a couple of shiny Torchic. And people are trading shiny Pokemon from Pokemon Go into the mainline games, And I tried to do that with Shiny Torchic until I realized, oh, you need Stardust to do that? And I don't have any more physical inventory in my Pokemon box or my bag to play this game anymore, thus completely defeating the purpose of having it on my phone. So that's why I don't play Pokemon Go anymore, is like I would either have to buy more space or get rid of like most of the Pokédex that I have, which I'm not going to do. So, up yours, Niantic. Sorry, it's not your fault. It's I just haven't been playing the game in a while. So, anyway, that's Gen 6, dude. As far as games that we have played, and the show, I'm not even going to try to talk about the movies because I haven't seen any Pokemon movie since the last time we watched The Power of Us, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, which wasn't bad, but anyway. Happy season 2 premiere, episode 20 of the Too Bad We Didn't Get Into Cars podcast.
What a way to premiere it, bro.
Yeah, what a fantastic premiere. Sorry, we just used recycled ideas and there was nothing really new about this new season. But we promise next episode. I'm gonna have to write a letter to Santa, honestly, if I have any hope of trying to make this podcast any better. You weren't supposed to hear that. I'm sorry. Anyway, happy season 2. David, do you have anything else for our lovely listeners and viewers out there, as far as kind words?
Yeah, come to my channel and check us out talking about Origami Angel again in 2 days.
Yeah, also check out our videos discussing Dragon Ball Super, in-depth discussing David talking about Lux Eterna, the new Metallica single. And honestly, check out other episodes from season 1. It's been a really weird and an interesting journey, considering that neither of us had ever done podcasts before. And there were a lot of changes that we made over the course of season 1, but I think we finally settled on something. Good. So, to all of you who have been listening or watching since episode 1, and to all of you who just found this channel or this podcast with this episode, thank you for being here. Thanks for giving us your time, giving us your, whether you're like driving or at home or studying or whatever. It means a lot to just be talking to you. So, thank you, David, for being the best co-host that I could ever ask for. Yeah, and then you say something sweet while I go try to wake up our special guest.
I don't know. I think that pretty much covered everything. Thanks for the views. Thanks for checking out the Gen 3 video. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
got low-key kind of popular for us. Because, of course, I know why. It's the best region after all. That's why everyone's watching Gen 3.
It's the best region.
That's exactly why. Everyone agrees. It's universal.
Thank you from Vanessa, who just woke up from a 3-day nap after a bender in New York. So not only is she jet lagged, but she's also missing a couple of organs. I don't know where those went. She refuses to tell me. But it's okay. We'll figure it out. Once again, thank you all for tuning into the Too Bad We Didn't Get Into Cars podcast. Welcome to season 2, and soon enough, welcome to 2023. So get ready for that. And hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Hope y'all have a great start to December. And yeah, let us know what you want to hear us talk about in the future, slash if you want to see guests on the show or potentially new ideas to accompany the new season.
Indeed.
Anyway, all right. Well, we'll talk to you later then. We're going to go drive so fast towards a playground full of kittens that dude, I'm not as good as other YouTubers doing this kind of impromptu thing.
Remember to tune in next time when we run over that playground full of kittens.
Yep. There you go. See you next time.